What's up, team? Nsima, the Centaur Inyang here with Centaur Q&A number 9. Now, before we get into this video, I have a lot of different types of videos that I'm doing on the channel, which is pretty cool for me, but I do like to keep things informative still. So what I want your help on is, obviously, I'm trying to grow this channel, and if you guys watch this channel, you also want this channel to grow. So if you're watching these videos and you're enjoying these videos, please give me a thumbs up because it really does help the channel grow over time, and that's what I'm looking to do. So that's it. Centaur Form Fix is going to be filmed on Saturday. I'm going to be filming an injury video on Friday. And right now I'm going to be answering your questions that you asked on Centaur Q&A number 8. Depending on how many questions we have, I may go to Centaur Q&A number 7, look in that comment section, and answer some of those questions too. But don't forget, I usually don't ever ask for YouTube likes. It's kind of a stupid thing. I should be asking for likes, but please go and give me a thumbs up. Thank you. Now let's get into it.
Everything was, yeah.
Nasty, ain't it? Brand new shit with the plan.
Okay, question 1. How long is your eating window when you fast? I'm thinking maybe my window is too big with 7 or 8 hours. Typically my eating window is about 5 hours. Some days, depending on it, it's 6 to 7 hours. I believe that the biggest idea if you're using an intermittent fasting approach to maintaining your deficit over time is that you shouldn't be too strict with it. So, I mean, there are days where I will have breakfast or lunch with the homie because they're a homie, and I'll just adjust for the day. And there are days where I will have a much shorter eating window because I'm really, really busy and I maybe only manage to eat at 7, so maybe I'll eat from 7 to 10 or 7 to 11. But I'd say maybe a 5 to 7 hour eating window is perfectly okay, but just to be lenient with yourself and not have too strict of a routine set so that you can be a little bit flexible. Next question. When I was rolling, you don't do BJJ anymore. No, man, I can't do BJJ because I just had surgery this past Monday, Monday of last week. I had my meniscus removal, but I will be actually starting to do drilling coming this Monday in terms of BJJ. So I'm going to start doing more drilling, and so I can start doing more rolling. But doing more drilling so I do more rolling. I'm just going to drill more. I'll probably be able to roll at full capacity and work out at full capacity within the next 4 to 6 weeks. But I'm going to be doing BJJ again starting next week. Next question. You got any advice on plateaus? Because I'm stuck at a 375-pound bench. Mr. Ray Felix. So, you know, a majority of lifters, when they use the word plateau, throw my keys, fail. When they use the word plateau, they're actually using it wrong. A majority of lifters really aren't plateaued, more so overtrained or fatigued. Now, when you train, you have a level of fatigue that you continue to accumulate over the months of training. What I notice with a lot of lifters is that they don't take deload weeks, they don't take restoration or deload cycles, and because of this, their level of fatigue continues to increase, and then the stimulus, or how new the stimulus training is, or how new what they're doing is, continues to decrease. So the movement you've been doing, you're so used to it, okay, so it being a novel stimulus is down here, right, or a new stimulus, and then your level of fatigue is here. You won't see improvement until maybe you take those movements out for 2 training cycles, you lower your overall volume for maybe 4 weeks to maybe 6 weeks, do that, bring the movements back, and you'll probably see an increase. Obviously, there's other reasons where you might be plateaued, but I believe actually because of the number of lifters that I've worked with, that is the biggest reason why lifters plateau. They're too eager and they never really give themselves a break from the gym, or they never really give themselves a taper from volume in the gym because they're so eager to make progress and they end up shooting themselves in the foot. So that would be my main suggestion to you. Deload for a long period of time, like a deload cycle, 4 weeks, lower your total volume, or taper your volume slightly, okay? And I would also suggest take out the bench press, add in a typical movement like the close grip bench press, and do that movement for a few weeks. Bring the bench press back later and it will almost be like it's a new stimulus for you. Next question. Do you use hook grip for higher reps? Yeah, I do. At this point, since I'm so good with my hook grip, I can do hook grips for 10s and I'll be perfectly okay. But typically as a beginner to hook grip, so this is more applying to you since you're probably newer to it, you would probably want to use straps when you use higher rep work. Unless the load isn't really that heavy, then you can actually use your hook grip. But your hook grip is something that will adapt over time. You will get used to you'll get used to the strain over time, and you'll become much better with using your hook grip, even with high reps and with really, really heavy weight. Any ideas on how to work out around elbow pain? Okay, Nidgi, and HGY. I would suggest just not doing anything that really hurts your elbow. So I don't really know what type of elbow pain you do have, but there are 2 videos. I will actually attach the Instagram link to those videos down below. It's by Dr. Jacob Harden and another guy named Kevin from Myo Detox. So I'm gonna attach those links to the description box. Go ahead and check those out. Those are 2 things that I started doing that really helped out with my elbow pain. I really don't have elbow pain while working out anymore. That was actually, I had chronic elbow issues for the longest time when I would bench and do tricep work. I don't have those anymore. So those are in the link in the description. For all of you who also have elbow pain, I highly suggest you do those or check out those videos. And I highly suggest that you actually implement what is in those videos every single day. I do this every single day, maybe while I'm working or while I'm just sitting around. You'll see in the videos what I'm talking about, but it's pretty much you're holding your hand like this. You're resisting with this fist against resistance from this hand, and then you're doing it the other way too. They'll explain in the videos in detail, but I really think that that's gonna help out your elbow pain in the long run. In the short run, I think that you should probably just not do anything that hurts too much or lower the load that you're working with in the gym so you don't hurt yourself. How often should a beginner/intermediate change variations of the compound lifts in a training cycle? So this question is phrased oddly because changing variations of a movement within a training cycle means, like, if I'm going by exactly what you're saying here, you started with the bench press and then you end your training cycle using a close grip bench press. I'm just gonna assume you're asking me, how many different variations of a movement should you be doing in your compound movements in a training cycle? Meaning that, can I have the bench press and the overhead press and the close grip bench press as main progressive compound movements in a training cycle? I would suggest that you be very, very careful with how you do that, okay? It all really depends on how it's programmed. So if we look at this and let's use a squatting variation as our example. Let's say you have your squats and you have front squats in the same training cycle. This can be programmed in a smart fashion with the main goal potentially being to progress your squats. But what you would have to do is you would have potentially, if you're doing an undulating periodization, which just means you're undulating your total volume or your intensity of the movement on each day, on certain days, you could have a squat day at 3s to 5s at 85 to 95%. You could have another squat day focusing on potentially power at around 70 to 75%. And also maybe the 3 to 5 rep range, because it's a power day, so you're going for speed on that day. I don't usually program power a lot, but I'm just giving you a broad example right now. And then if you have front squats, if your main goal is progressing your squat, you don't want your front squats to handle that much intensity. So I would say that your front squats should be something within a hypertrophy load, anywhere between 65 and 75% for sets of 6 to 8 reps. And that would be a good way that would still help progress your squat. But the problem is if you programmed it and you programmed the squat and the front squat and like another day of squats, you would be making a mistake if you had heavy squats, heavy front squats, and hypertrophy back squats. Because those front squats would really mess with your progress in terms of your back squats because there's too much fatigue. So it really depends on how it's programmed. It can be done, but I really do suggest that if you do want to work on your squat in a training cycle, you want to work on your bench in the training cycle, that your other movements that are variations, like your bench versus your close grip bench press should be done for way less volume, and it should be used as an accessory movement versus your bench, okay? Hopefully that answers your question clearly. If you want me to clarify on that, or if you need any other information on that, go ahead and comment down below. Courtney Jenkins, how were you able to adjust to double hook grip? I've been pulling sumo for 2 years now and my back feels more stable when I do double overhand. So Courtney Jenkins, I think you may be assuming that I pulled double overhand in the past. I was not that much of a beast. I pulled mixed grip. But hook grip, I made a video about the hook grip, so if you haven't checked it, watch it. It's gonna help you out. But to just summarize that video, it's gonna take a while to adapt to the pain of hook grip. Your thumbs are gonna get beat up a lot. There's a day that my thumb actually opened and bled. Some people, there was a guy at our gym, Trevor, he actually used a bit of Olympic tape to put around his thumbs so he could get used to putting that pressure from the bar while he was hook gripping. I'd highly just suggest that you watch that hook grip video and let me know if you have any questions directly about that, because that'll pretty much explain the whole thing to you. you. It takes time. It took me 6 months to totally acclimate to using hook grip for all of my sets. So I would really suggest that you got to get used to it over time. Best idea is, you'll have a working set of your deadlifts and all of your lighter work, use hook grip. And maybe for a few of your working sets, if you can manage it, use hook grip until your hook grip wears out, and then maybe use straps. Next question. Arm size. 18.3. Next question. Perhaps this is a subjective question, but I'm coming off a rib strain injury after 2 months of lower intensity and high volume squatting. Benching and hip thrusting replaced deadlifting. Feeling 99%, I'm going to take another week or two before I jump onto my program. So here's the question. What kind of percentage reduction on a program would you use to reacclimate to a higher intensity? I'm personally thinking 20% reduction of my 1 rep max to dictate my training weight for the first few weeks. Too much or too little? Sorry to hear about your meniscus. So Jags, oh yeah, I think I got your form fix video too, man. Either way, Jags, your form was immaculate. Now let's talk about that question. So this is the thing, 20% is great, but if you do 20% and you feel pain, what should you do? You should lower it. This is called autoregulation. You probably know about that. So I'm not gonna use 30% is perfect or something like that, or you should do 44% reduction. No, try 20% because that is a fairly, I'd say that's a great number to use in terms of reduction for all of your compound movements. As you move through your training cycle, if you start feeling pain, auto-regulate on that day and lower your load until you don't feel any pain. That's all you really gotta do. Big picture, just making sure you don't feel pain anymore, okay? That answers your question. That is the end of the Centaur Q&A number 9, Centaur Form Fix coming this weekend. Another cool video might be coming in between, we'll see, and another video after that. Yeah, there's a lot of cool things that are happening on this channel, a lot of different things that are happening on this channel. I'm excited about that. I have to thank all of you for that, because I really enjoy doing this. So, all your questions for Centaur Q&A number 10, please ask them in the comment section below. Go ahead and make sure you like the video, because again, that really does help the channel out, and I'm really trying to grow this channel. It's my little baby. Yeah, that's it. So, that is all. This is Nsima the Centaur Inyang from Break the Bar. Be an anomaly, be different, be yourself, and I'll talk to all of you very, very soon.